and with an African-American gentleman with dreadlocks. Cannot tell that cop that there is no weed in the car.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on those notifications. And once you're done, leave a comment down below and I just might end up responding. While you often see wrestlers battling it out to determine who among them is on top, this is all done in the realm of kayfabe, or in other words, isn't real. Because of this, plenty of people you see duking it out on screen will happen to be incredibly close in real life. In the social media age, this can sometimes come across as completely character crushing, but in any case, you can't really expect these people to have such great in-ring chemistry and not occasionally have some chemistry and conversation as well. I'm D Wicket, and these are 10 wrestlers who are great friends in real life. Number 10, Triple H and Sheamus. That's right. That's right, two wrestlers who at their worst have been massive thorns in the side of the WWE universe over the past decade, sometimes even when together. If you remember late 2015, I hope you don't. Sheamus and Triple H apparently have had a strong friendship brewing for around that entire decade now. Back in 2009, Sheamus and Triple H earned respect for each other inside of the gym and became long-term workout buddies. Makes sense, these are two of the most well-built superstars on the roster, and they've both had terrible WWE Championship matches with Roman Reigns, so they sure got a lot in common.
What's the crack, Hunter? The one thing is, fella, I'm not ashamed to say I have a lot of respect for you for doing that.
Number 9, Edge and Christian.
Cleveland, we give you the International House of Dumbasses.
Let's get an obvious one out of the way. While many people could have predicted Triple H and Shawn Michaels, those are two names that stand alone fairly well in the history books. While Edge is certainly notable enough on his own, there's something about the pairing of Edge and Christian that's just so noticeable. It's magnetic almost, that we tend to remember them better as a pair. Maybe it's the Edge and Christian podcast, maybe it's the Edge and Christian Show of Awesomeness, or whatever the fuck their network show is. Maybe it's the fact that when they debuted, they were literally billed as brothers. Whatever it is, we're thankful for it due to all the 5-second poses and great tag team matches, and surely they're thankful for it for managing to find lifelong best friends in each other. Number 8, Big E and AJ Lee.
You stand there and you watch because you like me.
While AJ and her trophy husband Chicago's masochist Punk are no longer, how you say, welcome in the WWE, that doesn't mean that behind the scenes relationships formed there still can't last. I mean, for fuck's sake, that's where AJ and Punk themselves started dating. Another pairing that started out in WWE was Big E, formerly followed by Langston, being the bodyguard of both Dolph Ziggler and AJ Lee. While Big E moved on to bigger and better things with the New Day, his social media makes it clear that he'll always have a soft spot for the woman who he claimed birthed him from her womb. It's an odd friendship.
All right, let's get the car.
That is not running! Knees up! Knees up!
Number 7, CM Punk and Kofi Kingston.
Kofi's my road wife. We've been traveling together since he debuted. I don't know why. The day he showed up on TV, I was like, you, in the car, you're riding with me.
Somewhere in Chicago, Phillip Brooks has been smiling a lot lately, thanks to the massive push that Kofi Kingston has finally managed to get himself after an 11-year goddamn career. A forgotten tag team of yesteryear, these two became traveling buddies and instantly developed a close friendship. I mean, it makes sense. Two of the most entertaining in-ring workers and most charismatic superstars to come out of WWE's failed ECW reboot would have a lot in common. It's just, you know, kind of unfortunate that Kofi Kingston accidentally concussed Punk on his way out of the company in the 2014 Royal Rumble.
And with an African-American gentleman with dreadlocks. Cannot tell that cop that there is no weed in the car.
Number 6, Braun Strowman and Dana Brooke.
Hear me, and I say it softly, slowly.
What? How odd is this pairing? One of the most entertaining and surprisingly all-around great in-ring newcomers, and Dana Brooke, who can't wrestle, can't act, can't cut a promo, isn't convincing in any way possible, and isn't even attractive. Like, who hired Dana Brooke? Is Vince's eyesight getting that bad into his 70s where he thinks Dana Brooke looks like Trish Stratus? I just don't get it. But I'm not here to shit down Dana's Brooke anymore. I'm sure Braun wouldn't be too happy to see this video, as based on their Instagram, the two are quite fond of each other's company, even though one of them doesn't belong in the company.
Baby down and she's so lady. Sing it, cunts!
Number 5, Bayley and Sasha Banks.
It was everything that I ever dreamt of. I'm so happy to bring these home.
I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy that she's here with me.
Surprise, surprise, the inaugural and current women's tag team champions are about as close as two people can get. Sasha Banks and Bayley were both infamously a part of NXT's 4 horsewomen, the non-stable also including Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair. While those two have been having their problems over the last half a year, Sasha and Bayley seem to have finally gotten on the same page and are better than ever. Having met down in the aforementioned developmental branch and having put on a pair of NXT classics, one of which is still widely regarded as a top 5 NXT match of all time back in 2015, these two still have a bright future ahead of them as a team considering they've only just won the women's titles not too long ago.
Step it up. Step up or step it up? Step
it up.
Step it up. Whatever
Step
they're doing.
up.
You saw us here.
Work
They
hard.
know where to find us.
Number 4, Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
Was it ever a friendship?
I mean, that's why we don't drink tea.
Oh! We drink coffee!
Wait a minute, didn't I just say that Becky Lynch and Charlotte aren't good? Well, swerve, because obviously on screen they're not going to make it obvious since they're currently intertwined in a feud between themselves and Ronda Rousey. But if you think back to the pre-SummerSlam 2018 days though, you might remember just how close these two were actively being on social media. I mean, for fuck's sake, I know goddamn well I saw a tea party with these two on Twitter. What the fuck is that? While kayfabe has gotten in the way of them being able to express how well they get along backstage, you know as well as I do that they're still the best of friends, if not even better now that Becky isn't stuck behind Charlotte's shadow.
I even brought
We
my
didn't
tea.
even plan
Where's
that.
your tea?
Oh, I didn't. You never offered me a cup. That's good hospitality to offer somebody a cup.
Number 3, Brock Lesnar and Shelton Benjamin. Wow, the thought of Brock having friends of any capacity is just a strange concept. I mean, what the fuck do you talk about with a walking mountain made of steel? Well, while Brock is in a position nowadays where the closest thing he'll get to making new friendships is just showing signs of respect to the top-rate workers like AJ Styles and Daniel Bryan, there was once upon a time where Brock was known as the next big thing, and before he became that big thing, he was making his come up down in OVW, the old developmental branch. And he actually started out in a tag team with fellow in-ring veteran Shelton Benjamin. That's right, the underutilized SmackDown Live member, or maybe he's on Raw actually. I don't know. That's how little TV time he gets. I'm not even sure what fucking brand he's signed to, but the point is, Shelton is currently the only active roster member to have a true friendship with Brock Lesnar. I mean, it's strange, isn't it? I mean, both were amateur wrestlers, both are godly athletic and noticeably uncharismatic, so at least there's some common ground still.
Belly to belly by Brock Lesnar. Shelton off the top, a big splash. He's hooking him up. Rico trying to press him off, but Shelton has his leg hook. He got him.
Number 2, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. You know how WWE loves to tout how friendships such as Sasha or Bayley or Finn and Bayley or, well, really anyone in Bayley go all the way back to NXT? Well, KO and Zayn's friendship is one of those, but WWE's insane if they think they're responsible for these two being close. Way back before even their Ring of Honor days, these two met each other while working the Canadian independent circuit back in 2003. Their first pay-per-view match together being named Blood, Sweat, and Beers. Oh, isn't that adorable? Very humble beginnings indeed. Fast forward 4 years to them teaming up in ROH before Steen turned on Generico. Oh yeah, they were known as Kevin Steen and El Generico back in the day. That's sort of worth mentioning. Then fast forward another 8 years or so, and WWE retraced the steps of history almost step for step by having the newly Christian Kevin Owens attack his best friend Sami Zayn in pretty much the exact fashion.
Thank you.
And number 1, get ready for a weird one because it's Daniel Bryan and Ryback. This one's just so fucking strange. You have the ultra environmentalist, vegan pacifist Daniel Bryan on one side with his flannel shirts and his ponytails.
What am I going to eat between Nassau and Baltimore? Do you know what I'm going to eat? I'm going to eat seeds and protein shakes made out of hemp and brown rice protein.
And then you've got meat on the table. Yeah, that's what you are. Muscle-bound genetic freak of nature, Ryback, with his massive biceps and even bigger pecs.
The Ryback had a mental breakdown at Panera Bread.
These two feel like polar fucking opposites just off of that alone, with their only similarities really being the fact that they debuted together in the Nexus. But it's not like that even matters since Daniel Bryan was temporarily fired from the company the first night that faction debuted. I mean, there was that time when Bryan endorsed Ryback's Intercontinental Championship win when he was forced to retire back in 2015, but that would entail that they were already friends. I mean, to each his own. Anyone could potentially become friends with anyone. It's just so very, very fucking weird.
Stopping to get a burger, yeah.
Oh, that is kind of brutal.
Especially with the Ryback. I'm riding with the Ryback.
Oh,
and
so
he's-
feed him more.
And those are 10 WWE wrestlers who are best friends in real life. What are your thoughts? Let us know in the comments down below after liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and notifications-ing that bell.